G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Bloodied pipe rifle with bullets exploding for area damage and chance to break the prefix when we reload major and minor legendary effects respectively. I want to preface this video just by talking about how decent the pipe rifle actually is, and we compare it to all of the other weapons in the arsenal of Fallout 76. It's not actually sitting at the bottom of the barrel. You've got these horrible weapons like the pipe revolver and the pipe bolt action, which, you know, are in the same pipe family and are easy to compare this thing to, but their slow rate of fire brings down the DPS so much that I consider them barely usable, even with god tier rolls, as you saw with my pipe revolver video a while back. I tried to solo the SBQ with one, no dice, even though the damage was significantly higher per bullet as compared to this particular weapon. It's just too slow, but I managed to kill a queen with a pipe gun. It was bloodied in fire rate, so there you go. The humble pipe gun is actually the best, but when you compare it to other weapons outside of its class, there's some real shit tier weapons in the game, like the War Dumb. The Ripper is also terrible. The Dragon has got devastatingly good damage per shot, but the DPS is so low that you'd be better off with this thing. And of course the Broadsider. So keep in mind that this thing, whilst may not seem all that appealing by itself, it's actually sitting quite high in terms of how effective weapons can be in this game. And it's mostly because of the Stealth Commando build, helps lift it up a little bit above what other weapons that I guess are not in the class. But we're doing 35 damage, powerful auto receiver, true long barrel and aligned stock to give me a decent balance between recoil control and hip fire accuracy, further bolstered by a ground pounder. I know this thing's got a terrible reload and an even worse magazine capacity, so ground pounder goes on to speed up our reloads, and we've got a stinging magazine to increase our bullets in the magazine to 15 as compared to 12 for a perf rating, because I'm thinking those 3 extra bullets per magazine will help us deal out slightly better damage. But it's probably going to be a huge pain in the ass, but I guess we'll just have to deal with that as we go along. And I've also got a TV on this thing because aiming through the reflex sight sucks. It sucks so bad. Let's chuck on some perks. Like I was talking about before, I've got ground pounder, which will help me reload this thing faster. Also increase my hip fire accuracy, which would be helpful if I don't want to look down the microwave to aim at things. So what I'll do is I'll chuck on these perks to give me damage, like the commando perks, because it's an automatic weapon. Bloody Mess goes on, and of course I can chuck on Demo Expert to boost this even further. Now we're doing 70 damage. Not rock solid, but we're starting to get somewhere at least. Health is lower than 20%, as you can tell right there, and in Nerd Rage we're doing 121 damage. So good. Not really. Okay, so here we are outside of Jeff Bezos' mansion, and the pipe gun in first person. We've all seen this before. Winter's wearing a Grognak costume because the other angels keep making fun of her because she's pale, so she wants to get a head start on a summer tan. Anyways, let's talk about this nuisance over here, this 250 damage resistance whilst reloading. Now, there's an easy way to counter that just through regular gameplay. All you need to do is reload whilst crouch. Don't do it right away though. Be crouched for about a second or so, let the game actually figure out that you are crouched, and then go ahead with the reload. And then what would probably happen then is you'll reload this thing, and it won't break the prefix, which is pretty cool, right? So I've just reloaded this thing, and we seem to be getting the damage adjusted for adrenaline, so that's pretty good. We could probably do without the bloody damage, but, you know, we don't want to be shooting these super mutants all bloody day. Very nice. So I kind of like how you can crouch and then reload anyway. It's kind of like saying that Stealth Commando is so powerful that it can actually fix bugs in this game. Stealth Commando is my baby, and they're not going to ruin it for Wastelanders, are they? They better not be, or I'm not going to kick their ass. I could be boosting my damage ever so slightly more if I was using the 3.75 times multiplier, but I'll throw it on, sure, why not? Okay, I might as well use this scope for sniping, right? As you can tell, I'm getting the almost 4 times multiplier, which allows me to reach out a little bit more because the damage drop-off isn't so severe when you're doing this much damage. Also, just gotta remind myself to reload only when crouching, so damage 143. Stick a new mag in, still 143, nothing's broken, very, very good. Excellent, we'll keep on going. That was a violent explosion that set the truck off from all the way back there, so good job, turret. You definitely had your Red Bull today. And yeah, 165, we've seen this before. To be honest, I don't mind pipe guns with explosive bullets because, I don't know, there's just something satisfying. I like the sound that it makes mixed with the explosions, but when you're kind of using these 38 rounds, you kind of want to make the best damage you can possibly get out of them. I mean, fire rate is definitely a good choice for overall DPS, but in terms of damage per bullet, you're not going to be fighting clean with this, and what'll happen is you'll just end up with a bunch of 38s, at least if you're picking them up off of super mutants when you kill them, which, you know, they're fairly common. You'll either have a super mutant drop some assault rifle bullets or some 38 rounds, which, you know, they're easy to find. So if you've got a bunch of them, you kind of want to make the best use of them, because honestly, I just broke the prefix. Nice. Or did I? Don't really know. I might have. I didn't actually test that. I'll test that now, actually. Well, obviously I unequipped and re-equipped and got it back, but yeah, making the best use out of the damage for a low damage weapon, I like doing that, and we're successfully one-shotting things now, so that's good. Now, where's the bloke that usually sits in here? Where is he at? Ah, there he is. Gonna be honest, I couldn't bloody see him. I could probably tilt the screen, adjust that position a little bit. Oh no, I'm in trouble. And let's see if I've broken the prefix. Gonna have to observe the health bars there. It felt like I was getting the right amount of damage. Definitely not. There goes the jelly limbs again. Let's just go back into caution for a second here. Get our damage back. Get some crowd control with the explosions. Very nice. And we'll bring this back. We might as well use a little bit of that. So we've got the high perception to bolster our accuracy. So if we want to play, if the super mutants want to play this cheap, we'll play it even cheaper. We'll beat them at their own game. Anyway, so we still haven't found Jeff Bezos yet, but yeah, he better start treating workers right, or Winter will hunt him down for real, and he'll have nightmares of some random goth chick shooting him over and over. Yeah, so I hope Amazon workers get union rights. I know Jeff Bezos is probably not a big fan of that because you'll lose some of his profit margins, but fuck me, you've got like billions of dollars. I couldn't even imagine what I'd do with $1 billion, apart from like buy a VE Maloo, maybe a VF, maybe both. I'll buy another Amiga as well because I want one, and then I'll get one LS swapped. Perfect. See, I've got my priorities straightened out. Anyways, so we're kind of almost done here. I don't think I need to go through the hell room because it'll just be a little bit more of me doing this. We'll see about that, Muty. No, I didn't die. What a shame for you. Okay, let's go ahead and catch some rays even though it's during the night. I guess if Winter's pale enough, the moonlight reflected, or the sunlight reflected off the moon will give her a tan. Ah, yes, the trials of a crowd control weapon. Whoops, I just broke it again. There we go, you can see the damage spring right up when I unequipped and re-equipped it. Although that might just because when I haven't got it equipped, the bloody damage doesn't happen, but you know, that'd be the damage that I was getting before I broke it. That's a dangerous thing to do. I should probably be using fireproof. Yes, although seeing as we're heading for the damage that we are, I might probably not actually be able to get away with using that. I'm wasting bullets here. I could probably one-shot all these guys. Yes, I can. That's nice. You know, I want to try a Bloodied Hitman's not 10 mil pipe gun, because I want to actually use one with the semi-auto receiver just so I can see how good it is when I've got it at least tuned to how exactly I'd like it. Although maybe a fire rate one would be nice. I like how the head of that Wendigo stayed where it was, yet the body went flying. I quite like that. I like how the physics effects in this sometimes freak the fuck out. Hey, I got out of that sneaking somehow. I'm pretty sure that tool just walked into the locker. You can make one of those memes about the boys' locker room now. I like those memes, actually. I'm gonna die. I think I've knocked myself under 10% health, but then Rejuvenate's like, nah bro, I got you back, and then gave me a free heal. Oh, they're already out and about, apparently. Very good. Very ammo-efficient approach. If I can get this much damage out of a 38, that's pretty goddamn economical, especially since I probably haven't ever crafted these things. Maybe when Winter was baby level 40 and still messing around with the, I guess, the concept of being a stealth commando in Fallout 76, I would have maybe made a few, but there were a dime a dozen and you can get them from super mutants super easy, so Yeah, I remember the first couple of videos I made, I went around killing random shit with a stealth commando build. I think I used to use the recon scopes on the combat rifles and everything. I had no idea how far I could actually push this. Like, soloing the SBQ, I thought, yeah, okay, I could do that with a regular handmade. But I was wrong, but... Well, maybe I could do it with a regular handmade, but I didn't have all of the unyielding stuff, I guess. And Adrenal Reaction and those mutations didn't have those. Tell you what, back in those days, I was pretty impressed with myself that I was able to kill a Scorch Beast, just a little baby one, in under a minute, but now I'm doing it instantly a lot of the time, which, you know, I mean, it's not impressive anymore. Had I have known that this build would have soloed a Scorch Beast clean in under 2 minutes, I probably would have been in disbelief, but, you know, it's possible. And the fact that I did with an assault rifle, and most of that admittedly was just RNG of her behavior, but seriously, that's pretty good. If I had gotten that exact behavior with a fixer, that probably would have been over in less than 90 seconds, I reckon. That would have been a really cool thing. And the fact... what the hell was that all about? Okay, there's just a weird gravity well on... Okay, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. There's a weird gravity well on that roof. If only real-life roofs worked like that, so you could not fall down and die if you decide to fall off a roof. I think the Scorched Beast Queen is the last one around. I mean, the Mirelurk Queen. I'm thinking about killing Barbara. Not with this weapon, though. Unfortunately, these days, no one's really impressed by anything legit anymore, because there's been, like, a, you know, influx of these new broken weapons that Bethesda have somehow managed to put into the game, and everyone's like, I want a Stalker's Fire Rate LMG, even though if they ever get around to fixing it, congratulations on your, I guess, Fire Rate LMG, which all in all is probably a decent weapon in and of itself, but surely you'd want something a little bit better, like Junkies, Bloodied, Anti-Armor perhaps. Yeah, or maybe Instigating. That's another thing they need to fix. Also, there's been those punks running around with cheats and damage mods that could one-shot the Scorched Beast Queen. Is that a Mutant's Fire Rate? No, it's not just a baby Mutants thing. Yeah, no, that'll go into the script bin, but as you can tell, finishing off these bears pretty easily. No problems here. But yeah, when there's cheaters around bumping up their damage to impossible amounts, one-shotting it, it's like, wow, you're so good. Everyone loves that. It's like, okay, just removes the interest from the game because there's nothing to strive for when you can just cheat, right? That's why people don't like duping as much, because you're just like, well, there's nothing to do now. I've got all the best shit, even though testing stuff with the best shit is generally more fun than actually grinding for it. Behold, the only place where I could possibly get any benefits out of using Longshot whatsoever, but I'm not going to use it because I'm not a mad person. I've got the rank of Tormentor on, again. I kind of haven't taken it off. I usually would run with a rank of Class Freak, but with all of the unyielding armor and everything, strength isn't really an issue, and what special stats that I do lose are kind of negligible anyway. Seem to be getting adequate damage on the Scorched Beast. I would say a little bit too adequate, actually. Suspiciously good damage. At least for this range. Wow, pipe gun slaps. Slaps the bats. Take that, Batman. Hang on, if I actually had a proc of the... Oh yeah, I saw that T-pose, you cheeky bastard. He had to wait until I was right in his crosshairs. Okay, it's taken me a while to notice that the recon scope isn't actually working. Huh. Wait a minute. No, go away. Huh. Okay. Could you just land for a second? I need to rate my damage. Okay, yeah, I've definitely broken it here. Speaking of broken, this weapon's about to be. I just had a thought that maybe using a recon scope would offset the 250 damage resist bug thing, but no. You know what, I can't be bothered aiming anymore, so you just dive to a critical, please. There we go. Very good damage. Yeah, it's a sleeper weapon, this thing, because you don't really expect a pipe rifle to be slapping this hard, but lo and behold, here we are. And, you know, BE is one of the best for weapons. Generally, I prefer a lot of the weapons that are bloodied to have the fire rate, because I reckon the DPS is just so much better with the fire rate, but I'll make an exception. I actually quite prefer the explosive variant of the bloodied pipe gun, and I'm not going to wake up that one, so I'm just going to I'll throw a plasma grenade in there. There we go. The proton torpedo's gone down the tube, then we run away before the Death Star explodes. Anyways, so there you have it. Little pipe gun, bloodied explosive, and broke the prefix, which I just did now. Would be doing that much damage without the bloodied thing, and there we go. If you'd like to see this thing in your game, well, you can't have this one because I'm currently borrowing it. Thanks, Mr. Game Player. Good weapon. And I'm kind of glad to get back into the stealth commando stuff because I've been putting that on the back burner, and playing it again is just, it's good fun. And ooh, you can get inside the suppressor here. That's an oil filter, I think. That's what people have been telling me. Thank you for watching, guys.